Hey guys, Jana here at the 4-H office, and today's Fun Friday activity is fingerprinting. So if you've ever watched any of those crime shows and they say, we're going to go and get the forensics lab, or we're going to get our criminal scene investigators, what they're talking about is forensic science, and that's the study of evidence, of clues used to solve a mystery. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to learn about fingerprints. Now each person is born with their own individual whorls and swirls on their fingers. No two people are alike. Everybody is totally different. And the neat thing is your whorls and swirls never change unless you get like a cut and you get a permanent scar on your fingertip. Your fingerprints are right here at the end of each finger. Even your thumb has a fingerprint, and it is totally unique to you and you alone. So in order to do this activity today, what we're going to need are some cocoa powder out of the kitchen. You're also going to need a plate of some sort. You're going to need a makeup brush. This is a very soft makeup brush. We're going to gently dust for fingerprints. So something very soft and pliable with very soft bristles. We also have our trusty magnifying glass to help us solve our mystery, and some Scotch tape to lift our fingerprints, as well as a glass. Now, you can either lift your own fingerprints or get somebody at home. And this would make a great family activity where you could put your fingerprints on glassware. That's what we want to use. Lift the prints, put them on an index card or some other sort of piece of paper so that you can see them. So you will need a piece of paper too. And you can actually compare. You could get an ink pad and kind of take your own fingerprints and then solve the case, compare the mystery fingerprints that you pull off your glassware to those that you already have. So I've already touched this cup. The key to good fingerprinting is to not have freshly washed hands. You want a little bit of grease on your fingers to leave a really nice print. So we're going to put our baking powder on our plate. Not a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. It takes just a little bit, and the more you have, the more mess you have to clean up if you're not careful. So I'm going to grab my glass. Normally I'd be wearing gloves if I was a crime scene investigator because I wouldn't want to contaminate my crime scene. I wouldn't want my fingerprints to be in there. I would want to try to keep the evidence as pure as possible so that I could get the best results and solve the case. So we're just going to dip our brush very lightly, tamp some of it off, and just gently brush our glass. Now, what's going to happen is the cocoa powder, the baking powder, is actually going to stick to my fingerprint that you can see here. I have a really nice fingerprint right there. So once I'm done dusting for prints, what I'm going to do is set my glass down gently so I don't knock any of the dusting powder off. I use cocoa powder because it's easier for me to see. I'm going to take a piece of tape and be very careful, which I've already done. I got my fingerprint on my tape, so I've contaminated my sample. Take that off, grab another piece of tape, trying not to get my fingerprint on this one. I'm just going to gently lay my tape across my fingerprint, push it down just a tiny bit, and then gently pull the tape off. And if I hold this up, you can see I've pulled my print, my fingerprint, with the cocoa powder. So if I take a piece of paper and I put my sample down, you can see that I have pulled my fingerprint. Now what I could do is take an ink pad, gently dip my finger or press my finger on there, roll my finger onto a flat piece of paper, and what I could do is label each finger as I do it, both on the left hand and the right hand, and then compare to the one that I lifted. And how I would do that would be to look at the whorls and the swirls on my fingertip, the way that the pattern goes up and around, and try to match the finger as best as I could. So this is Jan with a Fun Friday activity. Join us every Friday. on our Facebook pages, both in Finney County and Scott County 4-H, and on our YouTube channel under West Plains District. Have a great day.